Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
We are set to go. We're on the line. Alex Carpenter, Blair Turnbull on the opening faceoff. The United States in white, Canada in red. Here's Haley Wynn for Team USA. Caroline Harvey in with a shot. Score! 1-0 United States. Murphy gets to it. Centering pass. Score! Bilka! 2-0 United States. 3-on-2 into the Team Canada zone. Murphy. Bilka. Score! Second of the night for Hannah Bilka.
High fives all around. 4-0 Team USA.
Edwards moving in. She scores! Layla Edwards, after hitting the post twice earlier in this game, has her first Olympic goal. This will be the third straight shutout for the United States, a shutout streak of over 211 minutes. It's Frankel's second.
Team USA takes the top spot into that quarterfinal elimination round.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. I'm the host of this program. We've got Landon Winkler over in the corner. He's running the video feed and the cameras. And the show today is presented by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities supporting student, community, and employee needs. Forgive me, folks. I've been on this microphone a lot today. But your sound's past 24 hours. It's how we kick off every single show. And we've been keeping you updated at least a little bit with the Winter Olympics taking place over in Milan. And last night, actually really early this morning, the United States in the same group as Canada. For those who don't know, Canada very good at hockey, historically, at least on the men's side. On the women's side, they're a little shakier, but the women for the United States are massively successful in hockey. They beat Canada 5-0. That's a rivalry, USA and Canada, in the sport of hockey, really in any sport, but especially in hockey, given that it's such a Canadian game. But the United States able to take them down and win that contest 5-0. It is the third straight shutout for the United States. They have scored 16 straight goals since the last goal that they allowed 3 games ago, and they take the top spot. I believe everybody in their group stage. So you play in the group stages. Every team gets organized into a group of however many teams. I think it's 4 for these Winter Olympics. So you have multiple groups. Every member of these groups play each other, and the teams that qualify make it through to the knockout stages. This was the last game in the group stage, and the United States takes down Canada 5-0 in this final game. I believe every member of this group also made it through to the knockout stages. Of course, with the United States, 5-0 USA, another shutout, and it's just a really, really impressive showing for the United States. To keep you updated on the medal count, Norway currently leading. They have 13 medals in total, 7 of them, 7 gold medals, 2 silver, 4 bronze. Switzerland is in second. Well, the United States is in second as far as total count, but overall, if we're counting just point total, quote-unquote, Switzerland is second right now. They have 7 medals. 4 of them, though, are gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze. United States with 10 total, 3 golds, 2 silvers. 3 golds, 5 silvers, 2 bronze, 10 total. Germany with 6. Germany and Sweden tied in 4th place. They both have 6 medals apiece. Both have 3 golds, 2 silvers, 1 bronze. And so that's what's happening over in Italy. Winter Olympics underway. And we'll keep you updated. We'll take a look at it every couple of days or every day or so, and we'll tell you about the latest thing that happened over in Milan. It's tough to go watch, though, because, obviously across the pond, the time difference is going to be a thing. Then, really, the Winter Olympics run roughly from 7 a.m. Central Time to 3 p.m. Central Time. Guess my hours at work 9 days out of 10. So I have not been able to watch any of the Olympics. I can kind of catch the end of Gold Zone whenever I make it home, if I do make it home before 3:30 or so. But overall, just a a good Winter Olympics so far for the United States. Anytime you can beat Canada in hockey, especially when you can dominate a game like that, it is good news for the U.S. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Also by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. For quality lumber, plywood, and OSB, to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. Lastly, in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the very best in the country. We got a fun show for you today. We'll lead things off after this first time out with Greg Maxwell, the head coach of Ellenwood girls basketball. He's brought just about his entire team with him, or just about his entire starting five. Plan was to have the entire starting five in the building, but had one player couldn't make it, so got 4 girls with him, and he will join us in the studio after this first break. Later in the show, we'll talk to Trevor Ross, the athletic director for Barton Community College, get an update on everything that's happening up on the Hill, and hopefully you all enjoy that conversation. But first, on the other side, Greg Maxwell and Ellenwood girls basketball. You're listening to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB at 95.5 FM.
Senior Doors, this is Hadley.
Hadley, what are we going to do today?
You have to work at Senior Doors. What if there's another power outage?
You're right, Hadley. People rely on us to be able to get into their houses and businesses. That is why we sell electric operators with battery backups and have been serving the community longer than anyone.
Does that mean you're getting old, Papa?
Not old, experienced.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, and we're now joined with a full studio. We've got from Ellenwood girls basketball, we've got head coach Greg Maxwell, along with Meta Maxwell, Olivia Batchman, Bryn Widener, and Reagan Widener, 4 of the starting 5 for this team. Guys, we've got 3 microphones for 5 bodies. How are we doing today?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So, guys, let's talk about the season so far. Had you in kind of at the midpoint of the season. You're not undefeated anymore. Still, you know, that one loss, not what anybody wants to talk about. You guys are on an absolute tear through the Central Prairie League to this point. You've gotten the top seed in the tournament. Tell us what it means to kind of have that number 1 next to your name going into what's essentially postseason play here.
We're super excited, super grateful. As for the league tournament, we're really excited to get to play for a true league title. I mean, last year we shared a title with CP, so it's really cool to get to play for an actual win.
You guys obviously the favorites going into this tournament. I mean, what does it mean to know that that's what is? We've spoken a lot about expectation for you guys when you guys come in, but just to have that kind of expectation on your shoulders and kind of see it rewarded with having what is essentially the easiest path through this tournament.
Well, I'll speak for that. One of the things for us is in volleyball, we've always looked at the state level, and the league thing was just kind of something we knew needed to happen to get us to where we wanted to go in the big picture. Basketball, we're kind of new to this, having success at the high school level in basketball. Central Plains and St. John have really dominated the last few years, and up until last year, we hadn't really been part of that. So we're, like Reagan said, very grateful to be part of it now. I had a share of the title last year. Now we want to win it, but it's still our maturity as a program is for bigger things. And if we're going to accomplish things at the state level like we want to, we know we got to get through this tournament and win it.
And you guys have talked so much. Coach, you mentioned specifically wanting to take that momentum from the volleyball championship and roll it over into this basketball season. What have been some of the differences that you've seen from one sport to the next?
Early on, they struggle a little bit just with the difference in sports. They're so comfortable, confident, and their love of volleyball is just, I think it's unrivaled in anything I've seen with athletes. It took them a while to kind of get into that basketball groove, and one of the things I pushed them on early this year was if they want the big goals, they're going to have to work harder in practice than they probably have been used to. And they've embraced that now. I mean, they have a smile on their face all the time now, and you can tell they're really loving the success they have. And they're working hard, but this team has learned they don't complain. There's no negativity. They truly embrace what it's about and understand what it really takes.
Winning is fun.
It absolutely
winning is dead gum fun. It just never gets old. And so, I mean, you guys, speaking of winning, I mean, you guys have won. I mean, it feels like you have, like I said, the 18-1 this year. It feels like you guys hadn't lost in a calendar year with what you guys have been able to put together. And when you have this much success, how do you keep coming back to it? How do you keep coming back the next day and going, okay, we've got to get better. We've got to keep getting better when it feels like no one can keep up with you?
I think it's definitely a mindset thing, and we all are working for one goal. And so we don't want to settle ever, and we want to just keep working. So I think keep winning is definitely just always our goal.
Let's talk league tournament. You guys took on Maxville last night, 71-15. Handled business in that matchup. And like you said, when you're able to, Coach, I guess I'll ask you this question. When you're able to get out to such a big lead and you've got a running clock, when you're in that tournament format, how much better is it? How much easier does it make it for you?
Yeah, I mean, you can start to focus on the things that we are trying to polish up, kind of like Olivia said. And, as coaches, we find ourselves going into these half times with a substantial lead, but we're always frustrated and want to see so much more. And we talk about it, then we remind ourselves that we are, in control of the game. So we want to make sure the message to the girls is that, yes, you're doing a lot of good things, but those things that we need to do better are important, and you have to focus on those. And that was a perfect example yesterday. Our second half, we improved on some areas that we weren't overly thrilled with in the first half, and they put some pressure on us in some ways that we hadn't seen, which was good, and we handled it well. And I think we only gave up 4 points in the second half, and defensively, that's been our goal all year, is to just really, really suffocate teams on defense.
So, Coach, you told me we've got 3 different classes represented.
Yes.
with your starting 5, 4 of the 5 in here today. So I know that Reagan and I think Olivia, you two are seniors.
I'm a junior.
You're a junior. Okay, so senior, junior. I know we've got Okay, who all is a sophomore in here? Two of the 4 are sophomores. Pardon me. So we've got the senior, junior, and sophomores in here as well. So you guys didn't all grow up playing together at the same time. You've kind of come into this thing as you've gotten into high school. What has it been like kind of getting to know each other over these past couple of years and start playing together?
We've been playing with each other for quite some time.
Okay, well.
The only, really separates the freshman and senior. So it's really nice to, having the chemistry we have since we've known each other and played with each other forever.
Yeah, I'd also like to add that a lot of that chemistry, because, I haven't played a ton of basketball with the sophomores, other than, last year and in middle school, but I think that chemistry is really carried over from volleyball, because we have played a lot of volleyball together. So that's really helped with that too.
It's a different sport, but still to be on the competing, being in there working with
Yes.
with each other. That is such a massive. Just to be seeing each other every day, I think is a massive thing, and it helps that you have the same coach for it as well, because I think that he gets to know you, you get to know him, and just to be with the same coach for 2 different seasons is such a big help for you guys.
Yep.
There's definitely a trust amongst these kids that you see daily it's pretty special, and they get along so well. This entire group, they have fun together, and you'll see them all interacting, and whether it's in school, whether it's in class or on the court or any situation, and that's the thing I probably enjoy as much as all the success is just how much they love being with each other.
So you guys get the off day today. How are you spending the off day? As far as recovery, things like that, basketball related.
I think we're still going to get some work in at practice, definitely. We don't have many off days.
Fair enough.
It's a constant work grind. But we got another interview with Sports in Kansas today at practice, so we're getting interviewed and going to keep up the work.
Do you guys like having microphones shoved in your face all the time? I don't know. When you have this much success. Olivia with absolutely. It's fun to talk to teams that are is so successful, and so you guys, not an off day, but not playing a game today. You've got practice, is what I mean. But getting after it, and then tomorrow you are back up at Kinsley taking on La Crosse. Coach, give us the scout on La Crosse.
Yeah, we respect them tremendously. A few years ago they were a team that really we struggled with, and obviously we've grown a lot since then. And we played them start the season this year, and we knew that was a tough game to start our season with, and we had a lot of success early on there against them. But they're playing really well right now, and we respect they've got some veteran leadership that we've got to be ready for. They've got some really good athletes. And so, our game planning today is extremely focused on everything that we need to do to make sure we give ourselves an advantage going into that, and then it's quick turnaround, and obviously we want to get that win and then be focused on who we're going to be playing a championship. With either one of those teams, it's going to be Central Plains or St. John. We've had success against them this year, but in the past we haven't, so we know that we've got to continue to build and have a mentality that we can compete with those teams consistently.
It's always funny. I'm just going back to that previous question about microphones in the face and things like that. It's always funny to me interviewing girl athletes, female athletes, because you guys have so much fun when you come in here, and every guy that I interview is so serious about it, and is like they will answer the question, but it's usually football players and things like that, and they're always very intense. And then the girls come in here and just have fun, and I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Head coach Greg Maxwell, Meta Maxwell, Olivia Batchman, Bryn Widener, and Reagan Widener from Ellenwood Girls Basketball joining us here on Sports Day.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320. Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Looking for a meaningful career where you can make a real difference? Barton Community College's adult healthcare program can get you there fast. Become a certified nurse aide or medication aide with Barton's state-approved training. Whether you're just beginning your education journey or advancing your career, Barton offers flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and hands-on training, giving you the knowledge, skills, and critical thinking necessary to thrive in today's world. Learn more at adulthealthcare.bartonccc.edu.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Big thanks to head coach Greg Maxwell, along with Meta Maxwell, Olivia Batchman, Bryn Widener, and Reagan Widener for joining me here today on Sports Day. Yeah, those girls are so impressive. That team that they play on is super impressive. Obviously, the state title in volleyball this past year, what they've been able to do in basketball the last year or so, and coming into this year and kind of the culmination with it. And the fact that they're so young. They've got 2 seniors on that squad, and most of them will be back next year, and they are expected to continue doing big things. And Coach Maxwell, very cool story with him that I didn't know until very recently. What they've been able to do in volleyball, pardon me. When he got that job, he had never coached volleyball before, and didn't really know a whole lot. So he picked up a book, he started studying, and he decided to devote himself to it. And the program that he's built with Ellenwood Volleyball is so impressive, and those girls are so fun to talk to, and they're just a really, really impressive. Impressive is the right word. An impressive group and a very impressive run that they've been able to put together. And like we said, yeah, they are not off. They have a practice, all right, but they do not play a game today. They are headed off to Kinsley again tomorrow for the second round, Ellenwood versus lacrosse. They will play lacrosse to lead things off, that at 3 p.m. Central Plains boys will then play Victoria, Central Plains girls, then against St. John, then St. John's boys versus lacrosse. And then the championship, or the consolation bracket on Friday will take place at Offerley. And then the championship games in Kinsley again on Friday. Third place game for the girls at 3. Boys third place at 4:30. Girls championship at 6. Boys championship at 7:30. We'll let you know what those results are tomorrow. Well, actually, I guess Friday we'll tell you what those scores will be. Sports Day today is brought to you in part by Kern Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend Showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also brought to you by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. Next up, we will speak with, this is a pre-recorded conversation. We're actually going to play it right now. This is Trevor Rolfs, the athletic director for Barton Community College. He joined me in the studio the other day, and we spoke a good bit about just what all is happening around Barton right now. We're towards the end of winter stuff. Spring stuff is getting started. We've got a lot of crossover and just a lot of athletes over at Barton CC right now that are really getting things done. So wanted to talk about that with Trevor. Here's that conversation right now. I'm talking with Trevor Rolfs, the athletic director up at Barton Community College. Trevor, let's go through what's happening right now up on the hill. Basketball is the headliner, I think, and this men's team doing really well right now. 1-6 their last 7 and creeping up the standings.
Yeah, playing really well. 6 of their last 7, and we won't talk about the one they should have won. That would give them 7 in a row that we let slip away. But, no, the men are playing really, really well right now. And, as we talked off air, and obviously you're right in the middle of it as the voice of the Cougars, we got a heck of a stretch coming up here. At a home game Wednesday and then on the road at Garden Saturday, and got to protect. We got 3 and 3. We got 3 home games and 3 road games. Got to protect the home court, obviously, and then our 3 road games are all going to be extremely difficult at Cali, at Butler, and at Garden City. So not necessarily in that order, but our men have positioned themselves in a crazy, crazy league where there's so much parity, and 1 or 2 losses really separates the number 1 seed going into the region tournament clear down to the number 8 seed. So it's really, really wild, and it's really going to come down to who can play their best at the end, which is what every coach wants, and that's going to directly affect, obviously the standings and then the seeding for the region tournament.
I think the good news is that Barton has wins over teams that are above them in the standings right now. You've swept Dodge in the regular season. You have the first win over Butler, who are 2 of the top 5 or 6 in the conference. I can't really.
2 of the top 3.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think that this winning streak right now, the winning ways, it's every coach says they want their teams playing best towards the end of the season, get hot at the right time, and see what can happen.
Yeah, and that's where we're at. We've got to give Coach Combs and his staff and the players a lot of credit. They're trending in the right direction, and we just got to keep putting it together one game at a time. And I'm kind of a pessimist. I look back at that one loss out of those last 7, but certainly on a positive note on the men, and we hope that continues because, as you know, and this might be something I'm stealing your thunder for a little bit later. It was voted on that Barton will host the region Final Four on March 13th and 14th, and we certainly want both of our teams playing, but in the end, at least one of them playing in that Final Four that we are set to host here in March.
Men coming off an overtime win up at Pratt, an ugly game, but a win is a win, and the women coming off a 20-point performance in that contest.
Which was also kind of ugly. Our men struggled to make free throws mightily, or that game would have never went to overtime. But again, I coached. I've been there, done that. The women just slow, sluggish start, and slow and sluggish through the heart of it, and then finally picked it up late in the third, and then opened it wide open in the fourth, and got them a nice win. And
sitting at 8th right now, I believe.
Yes. Yep. So the top 4 get a bye, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 host that first round. And so obviously that's probably a logical goal for the women, is to finish in that top 8. Getting in the top 4 will be extremely difficult, but to get a first round home playoff game, and then like the men, there's so much parity on the women's side. Butler's in the lead in the conference right now, and our women were ahead of Butler 10 at half. Mm-hmm. And so played Dodge really well in our second meeting with them. Played really well until late at Hutch last week, and so anything can happen. And our women, like the men, are trending in the right direction, and got a chance to get another win under their belt against the last place team in the league on Wednesday at home here, and then go back and try to avenge that loss against Garden on Saturday that went to overtime, and then we ended up losing on the last second shot. So but again, very, very favorable place for both of our programs right now in a league that's absolutely crazy this year with parity. We've definitely cleaned some things up, and I think Coach Combs and Coach Clark both, if you looked at their career here at Barton, their teams are usually playing their best at the end, which is always good.
And next topic we wanted to talk about, wrestling undergoing right now. Just had your home duels against, who all was there?
So we wrestled Neosho and Cali.
Okay.
And then that was our final home match of the year. And then we also had Great Bend High School and their last duel in the house as well last Thursday. So it was a really cool event. I got to give it up to Nathan Brockelman, our head coach, for kind of putting that together and working with the high school, Coach Kern and that staff, and then, of course, A.D. Westerhouse and myself. And all the credit goes to Nathan and Rex for putting that together. It was a really cool event to have the high school wrestling in their final home duel out there, and then our try, I guess, for lack of better words, that we had for our final regular season conference home deal. And we were able to get Neosho, lost to Cali, and then, Great Bend had a really close match with Liberal, too. And so a lot of fans in the house. It was a great environment and a really cool event that I'd like to see us continue doing in coordination with the high school.
This season has not been, I don't think, what Barton Wrestling wanted. But so much of that to do with just illness at the wrong time and injury and not having a full roster and having so many forfeits. And then in the matches where you do have your wrestlers, you're going up against, teams like Pratt and Northwest Tech that have some top 5 in the country guys at their respective weight classes.
Wrestling in our conference is incredible, like basketball. It's really good. And if you have some injuries and you're open in some weight classes, and you lose those points, you're already fighting an uphill battle, to compete with, there are so many top 10 wrestlers in every weight class in the state of Kansas, community colleges. It's crazy, which prepares you for the postseason. It's a good thing. Nathan has done a wonderful job of getting our program, back to where it needs to be from a numbers standpoint. And again, you got to have some luck. No matter what sport it is, whether it's illness or injury. But they've had a good year, and we'll look for now as we get into districts and postseason for them to wrestle. We talked about teams playing their best at the end, and hopefully we can get healthy and our wrestlers can perform well at the end here in districts and get as many qualified for nationals as we can.
So talk to me. Let's move along here. Some other programs that we want to talk about. I know that swimming and diving is nearing the end of its regular season as well, right?
Yep, and we don't have the diving part of that, even though that's all right. Even though the NJCAA sponsors that, we just have the swim teams, and they're getting ready now, preparing for nationals, which is a big event. There is no region or district for swim with the limited number of teams in the NJCAA altogether, but they'll be heading out to nationals here very soon. They've had a good year, particularly on the men's side. Our men's side is a little bit stronger than the women's this year. And, we've been able to go to nationals consistently and compete for, a top 3 finish. And so I think that's certainly the goal for Coach Ratliff this year. And we're excited to see if they can, like we've been talking about, swim their best and be their best at the end when it matters most.
And just, all of these nationals, it's crazy to me how many sports go on in the winter semester because, you get through fall and, Barton doesn't have football, but kind of football is the big dog. And there's soccer going on up at Barton as well and probably another sport that I'm forgetting.
Volleyball. Yeah, volleyball and soccer is in the
you're
fall.
Right. Yeah. And so volleyball, soccer, and football at the high school ranks kind of all you're worried about. But now you get into winter, and everything that takes place indoors is all going at the same time.
Yeah, crossover semester sports is a busy, busy time. And then if we have time on the show, we'll obviously talk about a lot of our spring sports have gotten started already. But people forget about indoor track, too. Mm-hmm. And the two that we haven't talked about is indoor track and bowling. Which one you want to start with?
We'll start with bowling.
Okay. Coach Perry, like Coach Brockelman, local product here, had a lot of success at the high school level, has done a phenomenal job with our bowling programs. And, again, like swimming, they'll have a great chance to go to nationals here and do some damage and hopefully bring home some hardware, 1, 2, or 3. And I know they're excited about it. They're like swimming. Their nationals is coming up right away here in the next few weeks, and they're preparing for that. People don't realize this, but the big dog at Division I bowling, particularly in the state of Kansas, is Wichita State. The big dog in Division II bowling is Newman University in Wichita. Well, we go compete against some of those schools in some of our bowling meets, and those matches include those schools. And so it was kind of interesting here just a couple weeks ago in one of our competitions. We finished 3rd only to Wichita State and Newman University. So the product that we have here on our bowling programs is incredible, and these kids all coming from Kansas. It's really neat. And again, Coach Perry's done a great job with those programs, and we'll see where they end up here in a few weeks.
And it's just hard to find competition for these kids because, like you said, you and I were talking off air. Barton is the only junior college program in Kansas that sponsors a bowling team.
That is correct, and there used to be a couple others, but Bowling, though, is a sport where so many of those matches that they compete in and the meets include Division I and Division II and NAIA schools. And so we don't have to go a long, long ways to find competition, but a lot of those competitions, even for NAIA and Division II, are regional competitions anyway.
Right.
And so it works out well. And like I said, Coach Perry does a great job of, and then, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, Todd, the assistant coach, and then certainly Jim and cooperation we get from him down there at Walnut Bowl. It's been a great thing for the college.
Let's move on to the next thing that we want to talk about is spring semester stuff that is kind of getting underway right now. So we'll start with track and field, indoor track and field getting underway right now. And I know that the Cougars have had a lot of success historically in this sport and starting out pretty good again.
Yeah, without question. We kind of covered all of our crossover semester sports, and there were a plethora of them. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we kind of forget about, as soon as we get back, indoor track fires up, and we certify those teams. And Coach Shinnick, Coach Dixon, Coach Breeding, doing a fantastic job, as always. Coach Shinnick's led a national powerhouse, and that goes way back before Coach Shinnick and the coach before him, and just in the history of our college as a whole. And I can tell you that nothing's changed. We've participated in 2 or 3 meets, it is now, in the month of January and here early February, and we're doing very, very well. A lot of national qualifiers already, toeing on some lines of national records, and it's so much of the same, and it never gets old. We've got so many young women and young men who compete at such a high level in track and field, and obviously the history of our program and how that echoes across the country. Every indoor and outdoor season, it's certainly makes you proud as an athletic director, and we should be proud as a college and as a community as we continue to set the bar and put ourselves in position, which we love to do, to compete for national championships, which that's what's crazy about that indoor season. It's really short. And so that'll be coming up here, into February, March. We get into the region playoffs and region meet, and then into the national championships. And like any sport, they're working there. Well, that we want the jumps to be farther and higher, and the times to be better, and they continue to work to improve so that we're competing at our highest level when it matters most.
I think the cool thing about track and field, indoor and outdoor, is regardless of how good you are, you can always push for a higher number or a lower number if that's your goal.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. If you are the best in the world, you can always go, yeah, well, I ran this in 45 seconds. What if I could run it in 44 seconds? And you're dealing with smaller increments than 1 second, but that's the kind of thing that you're pushing for when you get to those kinds of sports. And I feel, I spoke to Dr. Inez Turner at the Hall of Fame ceremony. Spoke to her at halftime of the women's game and kind of got her thoughts, and to hear kind of her perspective on the program that she left such a mark on, and then to go on and win national titles at Texas State and then go compete in the Olympics, and just to hear her talk about, as someone who went through it, the standard that Barton cross country and track and field has set. It's been so incredibly impressive to kind of watch that program kind of from the sidelines and to learn more about it.
When the bar is set that high by all those that have come before this year's team, including Inez and her sister, and to continue to reach that bar, I don't think a lot of times, people that have been involved with our college for a lot of years and understand it, whether that's board members or administration or people that have worked at the college for 20, 30, and 40 years, you understand that being involved in the world of athletics, but how hard it is to maintain excellence, especially how high that bar has been set in the sport of track and field, and continually reaching that bar year in and year out on both the men's and women's sides and competing for national championships. That's hard. That's really hard and very rare. And there are so many things that go into that, from coaching to support that we get at the college from, the resources and all of those things to enable our coaches and student athletes to continue reaching and grabbing that bar and competing for national titles. So, very exciting, and we're just so tremendously blessed with that program in terms of what they're able to do to, in the end, make us proud every year.
It's so hard to get to the top, but it's harder to stay there. And everybody who's been able to stay there will tell you that. And because, when you become the big dog on campus, when you walk through the door, everyone realizes it, and they're going to give a better effort than they have, because if they can beat you, it means they've done something. And I think basketball has dealt with that a little bit this year, and I think with track and field, you kind of get the same feeling.
Oh, no question. I call it envy.
Sure.
There's a lot of envy from, other colleges across our conference and across the Midwest and, throughout the NJCAA. And I consider Barton a blue blood. We talk about blue blood programs at the NCAA level, and that's more specifically in different sports. The Ohio States in football, the KU in basketball. There's always those blue bloods, and we've been fortunate that we've been a blue blood in a lot of things. Our volleyball program and the success that they had under Coach Bouchard goes way back, and so we've been extremely blessed here. And when those bars are set high, you have to have people that are passionate about continuing that tradition of highly successful programming. And we've been fortunate at Barton because we've had not only the great student athletes, but the great program directors and or coaches that have led us to the promised land many, many times. And so I sure enjoy being the envy a lot. And the key is that you just got to keep working really, really hard to stay on top, because, again, back to my point, that's very, very difficult to do.
Baseball and softball started a couple of weeks ago, or over this past week and a half or so.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start with baseball.
Yeah, they try to play baseball games in the end of January now, and even if they try to go to Oklahoma and Texas or Arizona. But, great start for baseball and softball. They're underway, and they're right in the thick of it. 6-8 games under their belts already, and doing well. Both are off to a good start, and as we mentioned off air, we've got now 2 more programs to certify for competition this spring. Well, 3, I should say, because we have to then certify for outdoor track when they start. And then tennis and golf are getting started. And we haven't talked about the weather, whether it's baseball, softball, tennis, golf. Wow, have we had some unbelievable weather the last couple of weeks, and looks like it's going to be the same this week. And for that, because a lot of times, a lot of winters, they can't get out and get going much outside before their season start. And so been blessed with that, but excited for all of our spring sports: baseball, softball, golf, tennis, and track. Again, we expect much of the same in the success department for sure.
Trevor, thanks so much for coming in.
Yeah, enjoyed it. Thank you, Brent.
That's Trevor Ross, the athletic director for Barton Community College, joining us here on the program. Big thanks to Trevor for coming on. Yeah, should be, a whole lot of sports happening right now with Barton. I love just the number of athletics that Barton offers. He and I have spoken before, and I don't know that this is 100% true. And actually, I will not put this on Trevor. This is me saying these things. But, football is my favorite sport. And I was wondering when I got here, okay, why does Barton not have a football team? I think the reason, and again, this is me, these are my words and my words only. I'm not putting this in anybody else's mouth. I think what Barton is doing is they're taking the money that would go from football, which, look, football is an incredibly expensive sport. 1, because of the size of the roster. 2, because of all the equipment. 3, the travel. All of those things make football very expensive. And I think what Barton is doing is they're taking the resources, not just money, but all of the resources that would go into football, and they're distributing them amongst the other sports. And because of that, they can do things like bowling. They can have the swim team. They can have the newly renovated Flesky Fieldhouse that looks so good, and give all this attention to their basketball programs. Baseball and softball are getting underway. Wrestling. Barton does everything else. And they do it at an extremely high level. I mean, we talked about the track and field thing. 60 national titles for Barton Community College. And so much of that coming from the track and field side of things. And they have had so many incredible athletes participate in those sports over the years. And it's been a lot of fun just to kind of go in. And, I was told that Barton was a powerhouse and that I was going to see a really, really high-quality JUCO program, not just in basketball, but in every sport. And I really have in my time that I've been able to get kind of situated in at Barton and get to know Trevor, get to know the coaches up there. And, not on a first-name basis with every coach for sure, but getting to see the way that program runs is so incredibly impressive. And Trevor's a big part of that, obviously, as the AD. And I think he's got some good coaches around him. And, yeah, we are currently planning. I mentioned earlier that we were trying to plan something out. Can confirm we will have we are now officially planned. And, of course, I'm revealing this on Wednesday. Something could happen between now and then. But Courtney DeBose, the Barton softball coach, will be on the show. I'll meet her for the first time, actually, and get a chance to talk with her about the start of their season. They got off to a pretty good start, have had a speed bump or two here lately. Let me see if I can pull up their schedule because I want to kind of give people a preview of that, and we got some time left in the program. Looking at Barton softball to this point. Here we go. Here's the schedule. They went to North Central Texas College. They won both of those games. They won the first game in a run rule fashion, 17-0 in 5 innings. Second game went to extras, and Barton was able to pull it out. They win at 6-3. So they start with wins over North Central Texas College. They then are on the road to the number one Division II team in the country in the sport of softball, to Murray State. Murray State wins both of those matchups again in run rule fashion. Murray State, a very good college softball team. And then Barton at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College. Northeastern Oklahoma, I'm pretty sure, is just what they go by, NEO. But they won both of those matchups. 2 one-run ball games that Barton lost to NEO. And so not the greatest start. 2-4. You feel like 2 of those losses, you had a real chance in. But overall, they are headed off Friday to the THF Winter Blast in Denison, Texas. They will start against number 7 Paris Junior College. They'll play one game on Friday. Well, they'll play that game on Friday. They've got 2 more games on Friday against Seminole State College in Oklahoma. So, yeah, probably sending 2 different squads to that. I'm not sure. I'll talk. You know what? I'll talk to Coach DeBose about that. I'll talk to her about that when we get to that point. But, yeah, Barton softball, I'm so incredibly excited. I love calling softball. I called a lot of college softball when I was a student up at Auburn, down at Auburn, I guess I should say, down and over at Auburn, and getting to see the way a college softball program looks and getting to enjoying the sport. I like the intricacies of that sport. I love calling baseball as well. The 2 sports are very different when you get down on a granular level, especially for me as an analyst. Anyway, we got to hit our next break. You're listening to Sports Day. It's on 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level.
Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Senior Doors, this is Hadley.
Hadley, what are we going to do today?
You have to work at Senior Doors. What if there's another power outage?
You're right, Hadley. People rely on us to be able to get into their houses and businesses. That is why we sell electric operators with battery backups and have been serving the community longer than anyone.
Does that mean you're getting old, Papa?
Not old, experienced.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Looking for a meaningful career where you can make a real difference? Barton Community College's adult healthcare program can get you there fast. Become a certified nurse aide or medication aide with Barton's state-approved training. Whether you're just beginning your education journey or advancing your career, Barton offers flexible schedules, affordable tuition, and hands-on training, giving you the knowledge, skills, and critical thinking necessary to thrive in today's world. Learn more at adulthealthcare.bartoncccc.edu.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville. Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Welcome back. Very Irish jig kind of music welcoming us back today on the program. Brant Daughtry here with you. Final couple of minutes of sports day. Yeah, I was talking about college softball before we went off the air, and I had to get through those breaks before we continued. But being around college softball players and kind of getting to know the coaches, and I just really enjoy watching softball. I like the pace of the game. I like it for the same reasons I like baseball, and it's because it's different from baseball. It is a very different sport, and I think so fun to watch. Anyway, want to let you know that we will have some basketball on our airwaves tonight. Barton is hosting Northwest Tech. Fort Hays Tech Northwest is the actual name of the school, but that's not what they go by. They go by Northwest Tech, and the women are towards the bottom of the league. I think they're actually in 11th or 12th. Colby is at the bottom of the league right now. Hold on. I believe we've got standings in here in the Jayhawk Conference. Somewhere on here. I can't find them. Anyway, Northwest Tech, a team that Barton beat by 30 or 40 the first time around. Should be a good women's matchup. Should be a good game for the women to stack another win. They've gotten better in the second half of the Jayhawk League season, and hopefully they'll continue to do so. For the men, hold on, let me get through the read first. Sports Day is brought to you by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Say bank local, say big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and Larned. Also by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange sign south of 10th and Harrison. Also by Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. And lastly, by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. Yeah, this was a loss that Barton took up in Goodland on the men's side that they felt like they should have won. It started a stretch of bad games for them. It was one of the three losses in 4 games that they had back in December. I think they've had this one circled for a while. I certainly have. This is a team that Barton should beat. And they did it the last time out, and I think they're going to go and expect to win this game tonight. So big thanks to Trevor Rolfs, the athletic director for Barton Community College. Also big thanks to head coach Greg Maxwell, along with players Meta Maxwell, Olivia Batchman, along with Bryn and Reagan Widener for joining me here in the studio of Ellenwood Girls Basketball. That's going to do it for today's show. Thursday show tomorrow, same time, same place. It's Sports Day, 12:30, right here on 1590 KVGBN 95.5 FM.